crafters, welcome to Coffee and a Card. This is an informal, casual crafting time where I spotlight a technique or a Stampin' Up! Product. I'm Vicki Sewell, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator near Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you'd like and follow me on Facebook at Stampin' Chat 30, I'd be honored. Or you can email me with paper crafting questions at stampinchat30@gmail.com. If you see a Stampin' Up! Product in my technique video that you'd like to add to your crafting supplies, you can click my Shop Now link at the top of my Facebook page or the link that I've added below this video. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. Now let's get started on today's project. Hi Stampers! Today I have a fun fold that we'll call a flap fold for you. It's one of my favorites, I can tell because I've made a lot of them. The first card I want to show you is a Halloween card, and this center piece opens up and then you have the inside. I love it because you can show off two different kinds of designer series paper. You can change the flap, the decoration on the flap. Here I use some rectangles and some of the stitch nested dies. And on this Christmas card, I changed it up to a circle. These are the layering circle dies. This was actually an oops. I cut out a large scallop circle and decided I needed it a little bit smaller, so I cut one out in the middle. And then I just saved that piece, so I got to use it again later. But this is that celebration paper that was free if you purchased $50 products. Here is another one of these flat folds, a Christmas card. This uses the delicate baubles. I used that for the flap decoration. And this is the frosted gingerbread designer series paper. Here's another one with that free celebration paper. These are the Encircled in Friendship dies that I've used here to make the flap decoration. I used some more of the free celebration paper. You know, the penguin punch is on back order. There's a punch that will punch out this little penguin, but it's on back order right now. But you can, if you have the paper, you can just cut it out with a circle. And that's what I did to make this decoration. And these are some iridescent snowflakes. They're called Wonderful Snowflakes. They come in a package like this, and you just punch them out. They're easy, ready to go. And so I took one of those and cut it in half and put half at the top and half at the bottom of this little circle here. So, and there's the sentiment, May Your Season Sparkle. That's from Snowflake Wishes. I did put some Wink of Stella on the sparkle word, but that doesn't show up on the camera too well. But it does make it beautiful. I also put some Wink of Stella on the little penguin's belly and his face. I did the same thing with the deer punch. There is a punch that will punch out this deer from the paper, but again, its supplies are hard to get right now, and it's on back order, so I just use the circle punch for that. Over the summer, I also made some seashell cards with this same design. You can tell I really, really like this design. It is so easy and fun, and I just think of all kinds of ideas to decorate this center flap. So let's get started on making this card today. I'm using the cutest Halloween paper, And I've shown you this paper before, but here it's one of my favorite Halloween papers ever. This paper matches this punch. So one day I sat down and punched out a lot of little shapes from the paper and then just stored them in a bag. I even cut out the half pumpkins because you can tuck them underneath. I have already decorated the centerpiece for this. That's one of the little pumpkins where part of it was cut off, but you can't tell it once you get it underneath a whole pumpkin. So I punched out those. I cut out the spider web from the Frightfully Cute set. Comes with the dies, some really nice Halloween dies, and so that's that spider web. I did run out of the black glitter paper, so fortunately I had some orange glitter paper left over from Stampin' Up! From another year. So I just cut a circle with the layering circle dies out of that orange glitter paper, which works really well with this paper. All right, so we start with a card base, a regular card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We start with a regular piece of designer series paper, and if the paper matches on the back, you can just cut a piece off of it and use it for the card. But this didn't have a matching back that I wanted to use. So I chose this paper out of the same designer series paper. Now I wanted to show you just a minute. The back of this paper is candy. And if you can color it with your markers or blender pens, and it is just stunning when you color it. So that's fun to do, and I just wanted to mention that you can color the designer series paper. But I decided I want to use this fun little polka dot print. So let's get our paper trimmer, and I'll show you what to do. You just put your card base down on your paper trimmer, and we're going to cut off 1 inch. Off the right-hand side of the card. I've opened it up. All right, here's how it's folded. And then I open it up, and I'm just going to cut off 1 inch. Now, some demonstrators like to cut off 1 1/4. I just like, let's make sure that I've got my cutting blade. I just like to cut off 1 inch. It's just easy to remember. And then your designer series paper is going to be 1 inch by 5 1/4 there. And this piece is going to be 3 inches by 5 1/4. We're going to save this piece. It's important. In fact, I'm going to put it up here. It's 5 1/2. So we're going to move it over, and we're going to score it in the middle with our scoring blade. We're going to score it at 2 3/4 so that there's a little fold there. And that is going to make the little band or belt that holds the card together. In fact, we're going to take part of it. We're going to leave this side long, the right side long, and we're going to just kind of tear this part in half because it doesn't need to be as long as that. And we'll just throw that piece away. All right, let me move the paper trimmer out of the way. And we're ready to assemble the card. I have stamped on the inside a cute Halloween saying from this stamp set, "A wish for everything." And it covers Mother's Day, it covers Thanksgiving, it covers Father's Day, Easter, Christmas, Halloween, there's Hanukkah, and a New Year's saying. And this is just one, it's a two boxes, really, of stamps. So this is just one of the boxes. So it's a very versatile set. So I'm going to first glue on the Designer Series paper. Right on the edge here. Then I'm going to put a little glue on this part of the flap, right here. And I'm going to slide it underneath and about the middle. Oops, a little too much glue there. And fold it over. Now, we'll just hold that down for a minute. So the back looks like this. Then we're going to just glue this to the card. And we'll make sure that that part still comes up. Right now we're ready to glue the other piece of Designer Series paper to the front. I want to make sure that it's still, nothing has glued down. And then after you've built your centerpiece, whatever you choose for your centerpiece, then you're ready to add it. And that will finish up the card. So I'm going to eyeball about where the middle is. I kind of hold it down and just pick it up gently and put a little glue right here where I know that it will hit the band. And then I kind of use that as a guide. You don't want your glue to come out too far. There we go. And then I just attach that. And then of course you want to pick it up and make sure that it's going to dry without sticking. Isn't that the cutest card ever? And it took us hardly any time at all once you've made your centerpiece. It's just a great fun card. Well, thank you for joining me today for Coffee and a Card. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. I hope you'll like and share this video. If you do, I will have a drawing, and maybe you will be the one who wins this card. So ink it up and send a blessing to someone today.